Today, Cathie Wood of ARK Invest shares her key takeaways from their Big Ideas 2025 report. Importantly, from a Tesla investor's point of view, I want you guys to notice how many of these disruptive technologies are opportunities that Tesla is already pursuing, perhaps already dominating, or has signaled intent to go all in on in the future. These annual Big Ideas reports from ARK Invest are all of their best ideas in terms of massive disruptive opportunities. They've left nothing out. So how many of these pies does Tesla have its fingers in now? And exactly how enormous are these opportunities?
Hello, everyone. My name is Cathie Wood. I am CEO and CIO of ARK Invest, and I would like to share with you our Big Ideas 2025, at least my takeaways from them. Our analysts have done an amazing job. I think this is our best one yet. So I'd highly recommend that you download it from ark-invest.com and take a look at all 140 pages. Our analysts themselves, will be sharing their takeaways in the next week or so. So I thought I'd summarize some of the highlights first. AI all the time. AI has been the big story for the past 2 years, and it's still the big story. In fact,
I won't be interrupting too much, but already, right out of the gates, AI. Why is this the first of ARK Invest's Big Ideas? The first that Cathie Wood mentions. Why? Because of the sheer enormity of the impact AI is not only already having, but will in the coming years and decades beyond that. We've never seen anything like this.
it is the biggest catalyst to all of the innovation taking place out there. It is the reason that the world seems to be speeding up. And I'll just give you a few examples of how quickly things are happening. So on the autonomous front, we have autonomous coders in the software development space. And in late 23, this autonomous coder, and you'll see it in Big Ideas, was able to do 3% of a project that a developer gave the AI system. By the end of last year, that was up to roughly 75%.
From 3% to 75% in, give or take, just call it roughly a year. That is a crazy rate of improvement. And this is what we've seen play out in various AI applications over the past half a decade. We have what seemingly looks like very slow progress in the early days. Is this a cat or a dog? That was a hard task for AI initially, and suddenly out of nowhere it became superhuman. The same thing has happened with image generation, stable diffusion. For a few years there, made very interesting but butt-ass ugly renditions of what people were requesting. Show me a tree, draw me an animal. But suddenly out of nowhere, you have this huge quantum leap forward in capabilities. This keeps happening with AI applications. We're now hearing the latest example with AI agents helping people to code from 3% to 75% of the code in a project. And if history is anything to go by, we're going to see the same thing play out with autonomous robotaxis.
And soon we think it will be very close to 100%. So basically, a developer or an engineer telling a coder, this is what I want to do, and the AI basically writes the code for the engineer, increasing the engineer's productivity manyfold per year. Another example is in the multiomics space, so drug development. In the area of research, researchers often test hypotheses for new drug targets, and we've scored how long it takes them. At the end of 23, or in the year 23, they were able to test 20 hypotheses in 1 year. By the end of 24, 200 hypotheses, 10 times more productive. So that tells us that the cost of research and discovery as we're moving towards curing disease is collapsing. So we're going to get a lot more of that kind of research and development. And then a third really good example of autonomous is full self-driving. Now, 10 years ago, or maybe 11 years ago, when we were writing about autonomous and when we thought it would roll out, there were about 10 companies, mostly auto companies, who said, they were going to be there within the next 5 to 6 years. And we thought they were, but the only one who made it, at least from a commercialization point of view, was Waymo in 2018. Well, here we are in 2025, and Waymo is still geofenced by territory. We believe this year Tesla will deliver a fully autonomous service. They're saying in June in Austin, we'll see the debut, and we think that it will roll out across the country pretty quickly thereafter.
And should Tesla's fleet of robotaxis, their service roll out fairly quickly throughout the United States and eventually beyond? At least outside of China, Tesla seems poised to take the lion's share of the profits. As Cathie points out, the Waymo commercial service has been operating for years, but in tiny little geofenced pockets of a few little safe spaces, first in San Francisco and now beyond. This is not a business model that can scale rapidly or at a low cost. Everywhere those robotaxis, the Waymos, intended on operating needs to be mapped in high definition down to the square inch or even smaller than that, ahead of time. And it also costs give or take about $100,000 for them to put a vehicle on roads today. Whereas Tesla is selling vehicles to customers equipped with sufficient sensors for Tesla FSD to operate, Tesla's producing these things for mid-$30,000, selling them to consumers with a profit margin on top in the low 40s. And of course, everything's fine for the Waymo robotaxi until something changes, and then suddenly you got a major problem because they haven't developed a generalized solution for autonomy. What Waymo's developed is an extremely brittle, fragile commercial service that works okay in set conditions with no changes, no surprises, and as I mentioned, the pre-mapping in HD. But if you take a Waymo vehicle out of its safe little pre-mapped geofenced pocket of a city and put it anywhere else, it's either going to become a death machine on wheels or just pull over and ask for daddy to help. This is not like what Tesla's developed, a generalized autonomous solution, which has learned to interpret the road rules and knows how to drive, generally speaking, meaning in theory you can pick up a Tesla, drop it anywhere and it'll figure out how to drive. You don't need to pre-map the area in HD. It doesn't need LiDAR to bounce off every square inch. Go, oh yeah, that matches the map I've already got in my head because we've already pre-mapped it here. So it looks like Waymo's ahead of Tesla today because they've commercialized their service. But as Cathie points out, Tesla looks set to scale rapidly beginning this year. This is a big deal, and it's also existential for companies like Waymo and Uber and Lyft and commercial taxi companies.
We're pretty excited about that. Interestingly, of the 10 companies who expected to be a part of this new world, only those 2 have made it, at least in the United States. And of course, in China, we've got Baidu, Apollo. So let's take you to another AI-inspired movement, and that's robotics generally. We believe that humanoid robots will soon be upon us. We will not be surprised to see them walking around our businesses and maybe walking around our homes after that, trying to take all the drudgery out of day-to-day work. We think this is going to be a $26 trillion business.
Oh, is that all? Here I was thinking that humanoid robots will be the biggest ever opportunity in capital. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, she said trillion. Wait, that comes after billion, which comes after million. Oh, that's a fucking shitload. Now, note, we began with AI. Generally speaking, it affects everything. Then, briefly, they touched on multiomics. Then, autonomy, in particular, robotaxis, and now humanoid robots. The only one of these pies thus far Tesla does not have a finger in is genomics. And I'd be pretty surprised if that ever changes. Although, there's a huge opportunity there. Fuck knows. Maybe Tesla creates AGI in the Optimus humanoid robots and then they go to work on reversing aging, curing disease. Who knows? My point, however, Tesla is all the fuck over these massive disruptive opportunities thus far. Bullish.
Half in the home and half in manufacturing. And the developments here are once again because of artificial intelligence. In fact, just like autonomous robotaxis, we've got a convergence of 3 technologies that are driving both humanoid robots and robotaxis forward. Robots themselves, energy storage, so battery technology, and artificial intelligence. Those three technologies converging are creating all kinds of opportunities. And
all right, just want to take stock here. Energy storage products, aka lithium-ion batteries, tick. Tesla, all the fuck over it, producing their own batteries, their own energy storage products. They've been mass manufacturing profitable, reliable products featuring these energy storage things known as batteries for, the last 15 plus years. So a massive tick on energy storage, one of the converging technologies. I mean, fuck, they've even got a lithium refinery in Corpus Christi underway. So completely vertically integrated on energy storage, lots of experience as well, thermally managing, like manufacturing, the whole thing. AI, once again, a huge fucking tick. Not just Tesla's real-world AI, but they've got AI all over their business. And robots, not just the humanoid robots, shout out to Optimus, but also the kind of robots that have 4 wheels, of which Tesla has put more than 7 million on roads, covered in sensors collecting data for that all-important AI. Tick, tick, tick.
And humanoid robots, I think, I will tell you, while full self-driving took a lot longer than we expected, humanoid robots are developing faster than we expected because of the expertise that has evolved around full self-driving.
Now, Cathie Wood does have a very valid point here. As I mentioned at the time when Tesla announced plans to develop a humanoid robot, immediately, that's genius, I said at the time. They can effectively transplant the brain of the vehicle, FSD, into the humanoid robot, because the most important part of this real-world AI is vision, most of which Tesla has already solved with FSD. The ability to see, perceive, plan, and act in the real world translates directly, whether it's a 4-wheeled robot, aka a car, or a bipedal humanoid robot or something else. The fundamental ability to look out into the world, to recognize objects, to plan, to predict, and then to execute those plans to move through the real world. This stuff is fundamental. And Cathie's right. Humanoid robots are going to happen a lot faster than autonomy because most of the legwork has already been done with autonomy. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to build this up from scratch.
It's the three same technologies converging. So we're pretty excited about that. And, humanoid robots, we have a sense of how much productivity they will introduce. We have a sense because we actually have old-fashioned robots in our homes already. So washing machines. Before washing machines, believe it or not, people spent a lot of time washing clothes.
She ain't wrong. Years ago, I actually watched a documentary about productivity, industrial revolution, the whole sort of how humans have progressed. I was stunned at how much fucking time people used to spend washing clothes and manually drying them on those little rack things. Unbelievable. When I say people, I mean housewives. Let's just be real here. Remarkable stuff. And time is the most valuable resource. It's non-renewable. Everyone wakes up and gets 24 hours a day. When the day's up, it's gone. You cannot get more time. But if you can free up some of your existing time and use it in more productive or fulfilling ways, that's a massive win. This is a hugely underrated element of increases in productivity. And humanoid robots, some of the early tasks that we're doing in the home, is freeing up time on these mundane, repetitive, boring tasks. If you thought about how much time is spent, even just taking out rubbish, clean up after cooking, meal prep, general housekeeping, cleaning, ironing, all of this stuff, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Huge opportunity here. And then, of course, there's the commercial robots working in industry, factories, warehouses, and so on.
And with the washing machine, the time savings are now something like 85 or 90%. We think the same will be true for many other household chores. Importantly, food preparation and cleanup in the home. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And on the manufacturing front, we've already seen robotics in action. The assembly line 100 years ago saved 85% plus of the time to manufacture one car. So we're familiar. It's just all of this now is speeding up thanks to the convergence of robotics, energy storage, and artificial intelligence.
I mean, I could pretty much end the video here. It's not done yet, but like the first half, give or take, the entire fucking video is basically a bunch of things that Tesla's already doing and or dominating and or inevitably going to kill it in. And I want to underscore, this is not ARK Invest's why Tesla's going to absolutely fucking dominate the next few decades report 2025. It just so happens that Tesla has products, technologies across a number of these big ideas. many of them currently intersecting. As we go through the rest of the Big Ideas report, it's worth contemplating, are there any of these opportunities that maybe in the future it could make sense for Tesla to get involved in? And if not, is another Musk-led company on this opportunity, or will they be in the future?
Another part of our Big Ideas that I really love is about reusable rockets.
And what do you fucking know? Shout out to SpaceX, absolutely dominating. Always boggles the mind, by the way, just a quick side note. People will see SpaceX reusing rockets. It's been literally a decade now. They've been successfully landing their boosters and reusing them. Not a single other company has nailed orbital class rapid reusable rockets. It's been 10 fucking years. And as I record this, not a single company on Earth has yet nailed extremely safe, generalized autonomy. But of course, as soon as Tesla does this, everyone's going to magically catch up instantly. So there's nothing to see here, move along.
SpaceX is 10 years ahead of any other robotics company, and they are turning around the use of the robots in just weeks now, as opposed to when they first started a few years ago. It took a year to turn that reusable robot around. Now it takes 2 weeks, and soon we think it will take 2 days, and we'll need that kind of turnaround because of all the satellites that are going up. And we think will deliver $132 billion in revenue potential as the world becomes so much more interconnected than it is now. And then we'll jog over to another part of the Big Ideas that I know many people enjoy, and that is about crypto assets or digital assets. And you'll see how we get to our base case for the Bitcoin price and our bull case. Many people know us for our bull case, $1.5 million, and we actually think the odds have gone up that our bull case will be the right number because of what is becoming the institutionalization of this new asset class. So many institutional investors are now looking at Bitcoin and thinking that they need to add it to their asset allocation.
So digital currencies, Bitcoin in particular, not core to Tesla's mission, but they did invest quite early relative to other corporations in Bitcoin. Everyone either went ballistic and freaked out and nutted 24 times in a row, or said this is the worst idea ever. Tesla purchased Bitcoin, give or take, in the mid $30,000 range. It's roughly $100,000 as I record this. I mean, give or take, right? It fluctuates a lot, but roughly tripled in value. Certainly beats the return on having kept that money in cash, right?
Because its return profile looks so much different and its risk profile looks so much different from all of the other assets in their portfolios. And then in another section of Big Ideas, you'll see stablecoins. And I do think it is quite a surprise to learn that stablecoins in total, the transaction value of all of them is roughly, or was last year, $15 trillion. That was more than either Visa or MasterCard. And by the end of the year, the run rate was nearly double that, $30 trillion. Now, when we say that, I want to make sure you understand that this is transaction value. There are very large transactions taking place with stablecoins. Transaction volume, or the number of transactions, Visa and MasterCard still have many more transactions, but the value that is ramping through the digital asset ecosystem as decentralized finance takes off, or another way of saying it, the internet financial system takes off, that is scaling tremendously in a way that...
Now, just quickly wanted to note, for those who are unaware, X, formerly Twitter, becoming the Everything app, has not hidden the fact that it intends on becoming a financial services platform, fulfilling the vision that Elon Musk had all the way back about 25 years ago in the PayPal days. So, probably not a lot to do with Tesla, but you can guarantee X, the Everything app, will have its hands all over digital currencies, stablecoins, and financial products in general. Everything from a savings and investment account to a brokerage, to mortgages, lines of credit, credit cards, you fucking name it. Only a matter of time. Obviously, the first low-hanging fruit is payments. That's where it starts, not where it ends.
That I don't think people really understand. So we wanted to highlight the difference between that and the stablecoins in the context of Visa and MasterCard. One other thing I'd like to mention before I wind up here is the amount of time that we have spent on multiomics. So multiomics is the study not just of DNA or genomics, but RNA, proteins, epigenetics. It's complicated. But the reason we're spending so much time on it, and the reason we have been able to withstand the buffeting that the multiomic space has taken in the financial markets, is because of the massive opportunity that we see brewing. We believe not only will research and development evolve much more quickly, but the number of failures in new trials for drugs is going to drop precipitously. And we truly believe that the convergence among sequencing technologies, artificial intelligence, and CRISPR gene editing is going to continue curing diseases. It's already curing sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. Those revenues have already started, and we can see so many other diseases cured with this convergence of three technologies.
Can confirm, multiomics, as ARC's calling them, massive opportunity. I'm extremely bullish. Many diseases will be cured, many conditions cured, but it won't just end there. People will be able to repair and revitalize themselves. At the cellular level, people will be growing spare organs. I'm not kidding, by the way, just in case. Need a new heart? Well, great, here's one of yours. Not joking. And the power of AI to push forward this technology, bro, you ain't seen nothing yet. I don't think it's too much longer before people realize when I say I intend on living long enough to live forever, it's not hyperbole, it's an actual goal, a serious goal. I think people just can't even comprehend what's around the corner. The next 10, 20 years, bro, you are not ready.
In fact, CRISPR Therapeutics is focused on type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, which would be the category killer for this particular cure. Now, what is a cure worth? It's so interesting that in the traditional financial markets, many analysts think cures are bad business. One and done. They don't get the annuity associated with a chronic disease once it's cured. Well, we would like to tell you that a cure, in our view, and we show it in Big Ideas, should be worth anywhere from 2 to 20 times more than traditional medicine. And we believe for that reason, the returns on R&D to the pharma and biotech sector as they embrace these new technologies is going to move up from the low single digits. It's been in a very bad place for about a decade, to anywhere from 15 to 45%, depending on how much companies embrace these new technologies. So that's pretty exciting. And I'll wind up now by talking about what all of these convergences are going to do to economic activity and to the stock market as a whole.
All right, this will be good. Make sure you got a pen and paper to take some notes.
We believe that real GDP growth globally is going to accelerate from 3%, where it has been for the past 125 years, to 7 to 8%, if not more, thanks to the convergence among these technologies: robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence,
AKA Tesla,
blockchain technology, and multiomics sequencing. Now, why are we so confident about that? That sounds like an outrageous number. The consensus forecast is 3%. Well, the reason is if you look back in history, you will see that about 125 years ago, 3 innovation platforms were evolving at the same time: telephone, electricity, and internal combustion engine. And what did that do to real GDP growth globally? It increased the rate of real GDP growth by 5-fold. We went from 0.6%, where the world had been over the 400 years, from 1500 to 1900, we went from 0.6% to 3%. That was a 5-fold increase. And now we're telling you, even though there are 5 innovation platforms evolving, with AI at the heart and soul of the acceleration in these technology platforms, that we're only going to see a 2 to 2.5-fold increase. We think that could be very conservative.
So Cathie lays out ARC's predictions for GDP growth, economic productivity, and then points out that they believe that could actually be really conservative, having just mentioned the fact that consensus is way below their likely conservative estimates. Meaning most of the so-called experts, the analysts, people forecasting, are going to miss to the downside, be way off the mark, way under. And if that's the case, then there's probably a lot of unrealized opportunity in companies that happen to have fingers in some of these pies. For example, energy storage, robotics, artificial intelligence, a lot of potentially unrealized value that people just can't accept. Oh, there's no way that's too ridiculous. That couldn't possibly happen. So they just ignore. Of course, ARK Invest could be wrong, but if they're not, holy shit.
And one of the reasons this is going to happen is because of productivity. Productivity is going to grow dramatically, and productivity is associated with low inflation growth as well. You can have higher wage growth if productivity is rising. So it's a win-win for everyone. And what a win-win means is wealth creation. And what does that mean for the stock market? Well, if we're right, then the value associated with truly disruptive innovation during the next 5 years in the equity markets, we believe, is going to rise from $12 trillion to $140 trillion, more than tenfold. Now, you might wonder what is going to happen to the Mag 6 during that period of time. Well, the Mag 6 will probably do fine altogether, although some will be disrupted by this new world order. That said, we expect the Mag 6 to go from 16 trillion today to 60 trillion. So that's about a 4-fold increase, maybe a little less than that. This is another way of saying that we expect the equity market, the bull market, to broaden out during the next 5 years and benefit a lot of companies that have been toiling away while the Mag 6 were getting all the glory. And soon...
Just quickly wanted to point out, Cathie Wood intentionally chose the term Mag 6 as in Magnificent 6. Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Alphabet, aka Google. Much more common to hear the Mag 7, which also includes Tesla, but she's intentionally excluded Tesla from their commentary. How curious.
We think they are going to deliver the goods as well. And the goods means equity market appreciation. So we know that innovation solves problems, and we know that innovation is key to growth. That's why I founded ARC more than 10 years ago, and truly disruptive innovation is here now. So remember, download Big Ideas 2025 from arc-invest.com and enjoy 140 pages of research, original research that has been done so masterfully by our analysts and our chief futurist and our directors.
Good recommendation, actually. Everyone should go download a copy of the Big Ideas 2025 research. Read through. You don't have to agree with everything. There's some fascinating insights, opinions, thoughts, and projections in there. Much like this video, if you read through that report, it seems as though almost all roads lead to Tesla. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.